Hello everyone, today we're going to look into an estate planning binder. What's in it? How does it work? Do you really need all of the documents? So this is the binder that you would put in a safe, on a shelf, or whatever is best for your family. So let's look at what are the tabs inside of the binder. These are the tabs that go inside the binder, what each one of them is, and do you really need that document? So the first one we're looking at is a durable power of attorney. Do you need a durable power of attorney? Yes, you absolutely do. As we talked about over and over, if you don't have a power of attorney in place in which you designate someone to be in charge to make decisions for you, if you become unable to do so because of a car accident, you get sick, you develop dementia or something like that, if there is no power of attorney in place, then someone will have to go through courts and file for an adult guardianship proceeding. You don't want that. The next one is a healthcare power of attorney. Very similar to the durable power of attorney. The healthcare only relates to, of course, healthcare decisions, medical decisions. Why do we have two separate documents? Because sometimes people have two different people to be serving in these roles. So you may have one child who's good or who may work in the medical field, and then you may have another who's better with money. The next one is an advance directive or a living will, they call it here in Oklahoma. I tell people this may be the most important document you're going to sign when you sign your estate plan. And the reason for that is that while people are eventually going to figure out your money and your assets and where they go, your advanced healthcare directive, your end-of-life care decisions should be made by you, and sometimes nobody else can make them for you. The next one is a pour-over will. The pour-over part tells you that there is a trust attached to it, okay? So this plan that we're looking at is a trust plan, and we'll get to the trust, but the pour-over will says, hey, everything I have, I want it to go according to the terms of my trust. If for whatever reason the will has to be filed and a probate needs to be initiated, that's when your pour-over will comes into play. But typically, if everything is done correctly and we help you ensure that it is, the will never have to be filed. It's just good to have there. So what's a certificate of trust? A usually page document that is a brief summary of your trust, as in it has the name, it has who are the trustees, who are the successor trustees, what are the powers of the trustees. So that way, if you need to present the trust somewhere, you don't need to have the whole trust, but just this short document that has all the information that someone else would need to know outside of the distribution part of it. The next one is a living trust, a revocable trust. The trust helps you avoid probate. It helps you provide for a gradual distribution for your heirs. A revocable trust helps you plan better, helps you include your family's goals and tradition, if you will, into writing to ensure that the people, your heirs, the people you trust will follow those designations. The next one is deeds. Your estate plan also comes with the deeds to the real properties that you own, to ensure that you avoid probate, to ensure that it's easy to transfer that real property. The next one is a personal property memorandum. What is that? That is a document that's part of the trust. The trust says, hey, I might leave a personal property memorandum. If you find it, make sure you follow it. That's a great way to provide for specific distributions. Let's say I want my car to go to my granddaughter. I want this painting to go to my friend. I want my wedding ring to go to my grandson or my son. Without having to amend the trust, without having to notify or use an attorney every time you think of a personal distribution. So that's a good way for you to have those provisions in a separate document that's referenced in the trust, and it's a great way to leave a list of instructions behind so your family won't fight over who gets what. The final distribution instructions is a separate document that basically talks about what do you want to happen when you die. What do you want to happen to your body? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? Do you want a service? What kind of service? Do you want a big funeral? What kind of food and things like that? The next one is funding documents. A big part of having a trust is making sure that all the assets are tied to the trust somehow in order to make sure that the trust's terms apply. Let's say a life insurance policy. You want to make sure that the trust is a beneficiary. For example, in order to ensure that the trustee will have access to that life insurance policy, to those proceeds, and then distribute them according to your wishes. Let's say you have a minor child, you want that child to receive some money when they turn 21, 25, 27. Well, as you can imagine, the trust has to be involved somehow in order to allow the trustee to collect and distribute that money. Real property has to be deeded into the trust. A deed has to happen. So basically the funding instructions talks about how do you make sure that everything is in the trust or tied to the trust. Again, we'll help you with that process. We talk about it over and over. Insurance could be life insurance, could be your medical insurance. Of course, you know what kind of policies you have. Maybe your kids don't, maybe not even your spouse. Do you have supplements? Do you have cancer insurance? Do you have life insurance and all that? It's just a good idea to get all organized. The next one is instructions and information. If you have any random thoughts or any instructions, for example, I tell people, hey, if you have lots of investments and you're investment savvy, make sure you leave some instructions for your kids. If they're not, that way they may not sell one type of asset and they may sell the other one first and things like that. So thank you so much for watching. Please email me or give me a call, 405-857-8231, if you have any questions about this video or if you just want to tell me how much you enjoy my videos. Thank you for watching.